Welcome to yard training. Now before we get started in driving these fun big trucks, we're going to have to go over a few rules first. So the yard rules are very important that you understand what they are. Rule number one is you never want to drive the truck without the instructor's approval first. Okay? No food, drinks inside the truck at any time. We don't like cleaning up after you guys after working all day long. So no matter what, no foods or drinks inside the trucks. There's also no cell phones allowed inside the trucks. This is going to prevent you from the temptation of somebody calling you or texting you or anything like that. There's absolutely no answering the phone while you're operating this vehicle. If you want to answer the phone, you must step out of the truck and you're burning up time. Just make sure you understand that. The next thing that we have to understand is that there's absolutely under no condition smoking in any of our trucks. Okay? There's designated smoking areas throughout the yard, and make sure that you dispose of those buds correctly. We don't like to see buds all over the floor. The next thing that you have to know is that there's no speeding in our yard. Now you guys joined truck driving school, not NASCAR school. So the yard speed limit is 5 miles an hour. If you're driving a stick shift vehicle, there's never a need to go more than first or second gear at the max. Never go any gear higher than second gear. Most of our maneuvers are going to be done in first gear, so you don't even need to go that fast. Another rule when it comes to our yard is never move the truck out of that training position. So never move it from position A in the yard to position B. We're going to go over what the yard positions are in a little bit. So never ever move that truck out of the position that it's in right now. So the other thing that you have to understand is that we are training outside, which means yes, if it's raining, we're still training. If it's snowing, we're still training. As long as the streets are open and there's access to get to the school, we're open. So make sure you dress accordingly. If it's 100 degrees outside, make sure you dress accordingly and you bring a lot of water. If it's snowing or if it's 20 degrees outside, make sure you bring layers. This is a career that is going to be done on the outside. Our instructors are going to be outside there with you, so make sure you are out there too. Of course, one of the main rules is be respectful to everybody, our students and our instructors. Everyone is here for the same goal, and that is to help you get yourself a CDL license. The only way that's going to happen is if you listen to our instructors exactly what they need to say. If there ever occurs an issue in our yard, all you really have to do is bring it to one of management's attention or to the instructor's attention. Now, if you follow the rules and you're constantly scanning around, there should never be any collision happen in the yard. A collision is any time you, the driver, hit the vehicle any place it's not supposed to be hit. Okay? In a small chance that there is a collision, you must stop the vehicle immediately, contact an instructor or management, and we must fill out a proper report. You do not want to be the person to fill out a report. So make sure you're constantly scanning and you're following these rules to the T. If you keep yourself from becoming distracted while you're operating these vehicles, everything will be okay. So the next thing I want to go over with you is instructor signs. Okay? Now, the way we're set up in this training is sometimes you might not be able to hear an instructor, so an instructor is going to have to give you hand signs. The number one sign that you must understand is stop. If you see an instructor do a closed fist like this clearly means stop. Okay? The next sign is get out and look. So a get out and look instructor sign is going to look something like this. You usually see these in combination. You'll see stop, get out and look. This means that you actually have to put the vehicle into neutral, pop out the brakes, and get outside of the vehicle. Now, if the instructor would like you to make a left turn or a right turn, and they're facing in front of you, they're just going to put out their arm straight out, to the left or to the right. So just follow that accordingly. And if the instructor would like you to move forward, you're just going to do one of these actions right here to make sure that you are moving towards him. Okay? Those are pretty much all the different hand signals that an instructor can give you when you're going in the yard. If you ever do not understand what the instructor is saying, it's always the best option to stop the vehicle and make sure you clarify with the instructor before you continue your maneuver. If you ever do not understand what an instructor is trying to communicate with you, it's always best to stop the vehicle, put it in neutral, pop out the brakes, and clarify with the instructor before you continue on with your maneuver. Okay? Now the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be the yard layout. So this yard is located on 3106 Southwood Avenue. And as you can see on this diagram over here, right there, we have a few different spots where we actually do training in. Layout A, that's marked letter A, that's usually where we park our truck to perform a pre-trip and air brake training. This is also the truck that we usually use to take out onto the road. So on section A, that section is going to be for pre-trip and air brake training. When we move on to section B, those are the two long lanes that are connected to each other. Okay? In section B, you can perform straight line backing, offset backing, and parallel parking. Alley docking cannot be performed in section B. The same thing can be said in training area C, which are straight line backing, offset backing, and parallel parking can all be performed on training area C. Now training area D and training area E, you can perform all actions on there. You can perform straight line backing, offset backing, parallel parking, as well as alley docking. So if you need to alley dock, you're going to want to be on either D or E, because those are the only two stations where we allow alley docking. Okay? So make sure you follow this yard layout accordingly. Again, if you ever have any questions, please contact an instructor. They are here to help you and clarify things for you so everybody is on the same page. So now that you understand what our yard rules are, exactly how our instructor is going to communicate with you, and what the yard layout looks like, our main objective, as you know, is getting you ready to pass your CDL road test. Now your road test is going to take 2.5 hours to complete, which means it is no joke. Please follow our instructor's instructions carefully so then everything runs smoothly. The goal is for you to pass the first time, not to mess up and fail. So that being said, every minute counts. Make sure you make the most of it. Thank you. And on the next video, we're going to be talking about what the proper way is of starting a vehicle.